Baik, bertemu kembali dalam Niaga AWANI. Kami masih lagi bersiaran di Pusat Konvensyen Kuala Lumpur bersempena dengan mesyuarat Menteri-Menteri Kewangan ASEAN dan juga Gubernur Bank Pusat ASEAN, dan juga sebenarnya hari ini hari yang cukup penting kerana bermulanya persidangan pelaburan ASEAN, ya, AIC, ASEAN Investment Conference. Dan sudah tentu seperti sebelum berhenti rehat tadi, Najib ada menyatakan berkenaan dengan ASEAN BAC, ASEAN BAC Business Advisory Council, kerana ini merupakan asas bagaimana kita nak memastikan bahawa kelangsungan perniagaan itu dapat diteruskan di sebalik cabaran global yang berlaku pada ketika ini, Najib.
Okey, untuk itu kita bincang bersama dengan pengerusi ASEAN BAC sendiri, Tan Sri Nasir Razak bersama dengan kita pada waktu ini. Tan Sri, thank you so much for joining us. Tan Sri, I want to ask about ASEAN. We have the population, we have the GDP number, and we have the purchasing power, and also the spending power in that sense. But at the same time, we are still lagging behind in terms of having our influence in the global arena. What does it take for ASEAN to be the major player in the global arena?
Well, I think ASEAN is the fastest growing region in the world. It is true that ASEAN can do better as a single economy. Today, intra-ASEAN trade is still about 20% of our total trade. We need to think about how to increase that. We also follow on from the Prime Minister's statement just now about the more hostile external environment today, and it's very important that we take this opportunity to really strengthen ASEAN. In my view, that given the situation now, if you cannot turbocharge ASEAN integration, when can you? It's very important that ASEAN going forward really steps up, trades more with each other, is more united than ever, and faces all the challenges as one. ASEAN centrality has never been more important.
Tan Sri, maybe how ASEAN BAC shaping the cooperation between ASEAN business communities amidst the protectionism and also geopolitical tensions, maybe the roles of ASEAN BAC now.
So ASEAN BAC essentially is the apex private sector body interfacing with government. So what we do is we constantly make recommendations, we give ideas on how to strengthen cooperation and business within ASEAN. Under Malaysia's chairmanship in 2025, we have put up 12 very important work streams so that ASEAN can do more business together. It includes simple things like proposing the ASEAN prospectus. What is the ASEAN prospectus? So if you want to list your company on Bursa, inshallah, in the future, you'll be able to choose between having a Malaysia prospectus, where you raise money from Malaysians, or an ASEAN prospectus, where you can raise money from any country in ASEAN. That's one example of an initiative. The other example to bring up is the idea of an ASEAN business entity. This is an interesting idea because if you look at the history of ASEAN, ASEAN has essentially in the past overpromised in terms of what it can achieve. So now, today, I think when I look at it, we understand what ASEAN can and cannot do, what they should and should not do. In 2007, we thought when we grow up, we want to be like the EU. Tapi tak boleh. You know, there is no political appetite to be like the EU. So we then say at the same time, we want to be a market of 700 million people. So how do we do this? Well, one way is to allow our companies, right, to be able to move people freely within companies, to be able to move operations across the border, so long as within companies. So that's how, I say that we're trying to square the circle. That means politically, we cannot have free movement of people across ASEAN. Politically, tak boleh. Maybe you can do that. So this is what we're recommending to the ASEAN governments.
At the age of AI, but the technology is possessed by the advanced countries, China. But if we can choose one sector or any sectors that ASEAN can be the leader in, what are the sectors or sector in that sense for ASEAN to be the leader, and how ASEAN BAC can enable this sector and profit moving forward?
Well, you mentioned AI. I think it's absolutely true that there is leadership in USD, right? That doesn't mean we give up, because this is about brain power. It's about compute power. But first of all, we need to understand what it is, what are the challenges, how do we maximize opportunities. So at ASEAN BAC, we are setting up the private sector platform for AI sharing, knowledge sharing within ASEAN. So we can look at how we can collaborate together. Yeah. But of course, beyond that, we have a very diverse economy. So we're going to be very focused on different sectors in different countries. So if you look at semiconductor, for instance, that's an area of Malaysia's excellence, right? If you look at natural resources, that's more Indonesia's excellence. So ASEAN is diversified, and I think it's good that every country can focus more on specific areas.